Hey everybody, it's Ciara. Welcome to my channel if you're new, and welcome back if you've been here before. Today I have just left Lowe's. I decided to move a little farther away in the parking lot, so that's why I'm in the car, just because there were so many people and it was very chaotic and there was a lot of people yelling at each other. I guess because it's nice out and everybody's been stuck inside, that everyone wanted to go to Lowe's today. So I just got out of there. I should probably tell you what I'm doing today. Jay found a Buddha on the side of the road. Like, it's a giant statue. I'll show it to you in a minute. Basically what I want to do is, since we found it in the trash, it was very chipped in with paint and everything, so most of it's coming off. So I decided I wanted to take it and restore it, and we're going to use it for probably just to put outside, just as decoration, because it was going to get thrown away otherwise. So I went to Lowe's to get a wire brush and some sandpaper, just to get all the paint off, and then I got spray paint from Walmart, and I'm going to spray paint it black and gold. So let's get started. Before I go outside and start working on the Buddha, I wanted to show you what I got real quick for the removal process, and then also for what I'm going to repaint it with. I did get this wire brush to kind of just scrub the chipping paint off, but I also got a bunch of sandpaper because I have no idea what I'm doing. So I got this little sanding block stone, whatever it is, and then I also bought a pack of 80 coarse sandpaper, and then I bought a mixed pack of different types of sandpaper to kind of just see what would work. So I got all that stuff at Lowe's, and these I bought at Walmart. This is just a matte black spray paint, and then I also got a metallic gold spray paint. The black I'm just going to spray all over the Buddha, and it's going to be all black, and then on the headpiece I wanted to make it gold and then kind of do flecks of gold paint everywhere. I don't know if it's going to work with this, but I also have gold acrylic paint as well to do the flecks if this doesn't work out. So we'll see what happens, but let's go get started. So this is what it's looking like right now. I was gonna do it in the sun, but it's 100 degrees over there. So we're gonna do this in the shade on the porch, and then I'll probably just spray paint it on the lawn in the sun. So there did end up being shade in the grass by the time I started doing this, so I did take advantage of it and decided to scrub the Buddha off in the grass, because it did make a pretty decent mess, and doing that on the porch would have just been more to clean up. So I decided to do it in the grass, but I did take this steel brush and I'm just kind of lightly scrubbing all the black paint off that I can. A lot of it did come off really easily, but some of it was really stuck on there, and you'll see that a little bit later on. But for the most part, it was pretty easy to get all this stuff off, and it didn't take a very long time. But the only problem I did have was the white ceramic underneath the black paint. If you scrubbed it too much, it kind of broke off and crumbled and turned into a dust, and the wind was blowing it in my face the entire time, and it was definitely not fun. So I did have to be aware of that. Otherwise, most of this black stuff came off. If I could not get it off, at all, if it wasn't moving, I just kind of left it there, because I am going to spray paint it black again, so I wasn't really worried about anything showing through, because it will be covered. So I'm just scrubbing everything off as much as I can, being very delicate, because it was not taken care of, and a lot of parts were a little indented where things had crumbled off and everything. So I'm just taking my time. The headpiece was a little difficult to get everything off of, because it was there were a lot of dips and grooves, but I just took my time. I got as much off as I could, and then left whatever I couldn't get. My arm was getting tired from trying to scrub it for so long, so again, wasn't worrying about what didn't come off, because it is going to get covered at some point.
So
So I did also end up scrubbing the bottom really quick because it was very uneven, and I just kind of wanted to get all the old, it looked like rust was on the bottom of it, so I gave that a quick scrub with the wire brush, and then I went in with some sandpaper and I just kind of flattened it a little bit. I didn't do too much because it was kind of crumbly and everything, but I just got it to a point where I could paint over it if I wanted to. I haven't decided if I want to or not, so we'll see what happens. After I finished scrubbing everything down, getting as much of the black off as I could, I wanted to rinse it off really quick because there was a lot of like dust on it from just where the white bits were coming off, and there was some grass stuff on it and dirt and bugs, and I just wanted to get all that off and have like a clean slate to work with when I spray paint everything on, so nothing gets stuck underneath of it and is gross. So that's what I'm doing here. And surprisingly, a lot more of like the paint came off while I was rinsing it, which surprised me. So I did end up getting a little bit more paint off while doing this, and I also wanted to go through and just kind of wash the inside of it as well, because there were bugs like crawling in it and I was not about that. So I just gave it a quick rinse down after that as well, and then left it to dry. So this is what it ended up looking like once it was finished. A lot of the paint did end up coming off, so I'm really happy about that, but I am going to just spray paint over the rest of it. So I'm going to leave this overnight to dry. I did end up leaving the sanding block underneath the side of it for the bottom to drain out because I did wash the inside out with some water, so we'll see what happens. So it's finally time to start painting. So I'm going to start doing that. I'll show you my setup in a minute. Thankfully, there is some shade in the grass today. I did put trash bags down, so nothing's going to get ruined. So I'm excited. So I just went around and started spray painting the entire statue. I did realize kind of halfway through spray painting it that some of the black that I couldn't get off did end up showing through, and so did the cracks where like the ceramic was kind of deteriorating. But it kind of looks cool. Like it's kind of like a rusticy, vintagey feel. I guess that's what you would call it. But it kind of looks like it's a little older, and I don't mind that it looks like that. So I did put a couple layers of the black spray paint on. This is the second layer, but I think it turned out really well. The black actually coated a lot better than I thought it was going to on the first layer. So after, I think I did 2 layers and then touched up after I sprayed the gold on the top. But it came out really good, and it is coating really well, and I like the overall outcome of how it looked. I let the black dry for about an hour in the heat, and then I decided to just take a plastic bag from like the store and rip a hole in the bottom of it and kind of just wrap it around the head part so I could kind of just spray paint the gold headpiece. And some of the gold did end up getting through onto his face, but I just went back in and ended up touching up with the black paint afterwards, so I wasn't really worried about it. I think it turned out good. Again, the gold spray paint covered really quickly and like very easily, so I only put 2, I think I only put like 1 coat and then just filled in little bits that I missed, but here you can see that it's kind of on the face a little bit, so I do go in and fix that in a minute. I decided I wanted to try doing little sprays to see if that would create paint, like gold paint flecks on there, and it didn't. So I ended up having to go in with a glove later on and just kind of spray painting with my hand. So here I'm going in with the gold spray paint, and I'm just spraying it directly into my hand, and I'm gonna take my fingertips and just kind of splatter the paint on by hand, because the other way that I was trying to do it was definitely not working. So this turned out really good. I like the splatter paint effects because it's really subtle, and I really like the way that it looked on the black because it gave it a little bit more dimension. So after I was done doing the gold flecks, I did end up leaving it overnight, and it turned out so amazing. I mean, like, look at that. It's beautiful. And I don't know, I just really like the way it turned out, and to think that someone was gonna throw it away kind of makes me sad. So I'm glad that I got a chance to fix it and to make it look better and give it basically like a second life. So I'm just very happy with it. I'm just very happy with how it turned out. So that is it for this video. It turned out wonderful, better than I expected it to turn out, because most of the time when I do crafts like this or DIYs, they don't turn out as great, I guess. I am sweating, so I'm gonna go inside, but thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm gonna be uploading way more than this, so be prepared for that. But thank you so much. I'll see you next time. Bye!